everybody. Welcome to another amazing segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. I am your hostess, Shaniqua Inspires, and I am delighted to be back with you all another evening so that we can get this encouragement going. I want to bring a new friend of mine to the stage. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on up. Hey to you, my love. How is everything going with you? How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much. I'm well. Thanks for having me here today.
You are so welcome. Listen, now I don't necessarily know you personally, so let's get to know each other a little bit better. Please introduce yourself to me and to all of our viewers.
Hello, everyone. I am Faustina. My friends call me Tina. I am a mother, a wife. I am an author, and I'm also a certified life coach and also a certified functional nutritional coach as well.
Okay, sounds good. So explain to us what is that functional part of it? Because we've heard of nutrition, nutritionists, things of that nature, but what's that functional piece to it?
Well, basically, I help people to understand how food plays a vital role in their wellness.
Mhm.
So, basically, how food helps you to function, whether it be to lose weight or whether to have energy or to have a balance in your holistic life.
Nice, nice. Now, listen, you guys know a little bit about me. So I'm in very, very good company today. I too have, as a nurse, I've been a registered nurse for many, many years. And the health coaching, the life coaching is definitely a place that's near and dear to me. Now, explain to us why nutrition is so important in your life. Like, why are you even on this journey in the first place?
Well, for me, being raised in a Caribbean home, I'm from Jamaica,
Okay.
and basically my palate was always unhealthy foods,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Whether it's bleach products, whether it's white rice, whether it's no shade, no tea, curry goat, right?
Yeah,
Oxtail, all
yeah.
these red meats, right? So basically growing up eating all these foods, I was I would say a little bit overweight
Mhm.
because I'm 5'3". So I was always on like the little not chubby side, but a little fluffy. Let's say fluffy. And my knees used to hurt me a lot.
Mm,
And because I was carrying the weight on my knees.
mhm,
And it wasn't until I went on a fast where I lost some weight and God began to speak to me about changing my lifestyle
mm.
of basically how I eat. And I went on a fast and I lost like about 20 pounds.
Wow.
The rest was history. I just began to research how I could substitute different types of food that I like and begin to change my dietary intake. Then I went to a school, got certified to do this, and now I'm helping other people learn how to transition into eating healthy because we are what we eat, literally. Um,
Yes.
whatever we put in our mouth is either going to be a risk or a reward for our health.
Wow. That's good right there. That's good. Now, how long was this fast that you were on that you were able to release 20 pounds?
Well, well, it was called a Daniel fast, which is really not
Oh,
really a fast. It's just a lifestyle that Daniel did.
yes.
Side note. But I went on a Daniel's fast
Yes.
for 3 months and I lost 20 pounds. And that was very drastic for me because I was 150 at the time and
Mhm.
5'3". So that's considered to be overweight for
It
my
is.
height.
It is.
So the 20 pounds me dropping down to 130 made a difference. I
Yeah.
had more energy, my knees didn't hurt anymore. So I'm like, wow, this is really good.
Mhm.
So I began to just continue to research on how I could continue the journey in eating healthy.
I love that. And I have done the Daniel fast, especially during the season of Lent. A lot of people, a lot of churches, they do corporate fasting where those are the guidelines. So I love using scripture and biblical principles to
Yeah.
be the guiding force in which, I make the change behavior. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm doing it on my own accord, if I'm just doing a diet,
Right.
right? Like, we've seen and heard all of these different diets. We've got Atkins. I've been on the Special K diet, and I used to love to eat cereal. So I was like, well, this is the best diet for me because I get to eat cereal all day long, right? So I've been on all of these different diets, but what I've seen is you lose the weight while you're doing it, but then the minute you stop, the weight comes right back, and sometimes it comes back even more than what you had originally lost. So
Yeah.
I love lifestyle, and you mentioned that lifestyle changes, lifestyle alterations that are scripture based, that are biblically based, because now you've got a stronger foundation, and from that stronger foundation, now is when the change is going to stick. Because if you tell me I'm doing it for God, I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stick to it. But if I'm doing it for to fit into a dress or to look cute at an event, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, it's temporary.
Yeah.
But when we are altering our lives, um, for a higher purpose, that's when we're going to see the change. Because Faustina, like, that's what I've heard a lot of people say, myself included. It's the cycling back and forth,
Yeah.
like
It's the
yo-yo.
motives. The
Yeah,
motives matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, what kind of words of encouragement would you give someone who's just really, they're just fed up? They're like, oh my God, like I just keep going back and forth. Like I lose, I gain, I lose, I gain. This just isn't for me, apparently. What words of encouragement would you say to them?
I would tell anyone who is challenged with that to start small,
Mhm,
right? Start with eliminating one thing that you know that you need to eliminate, whether it's soda, whether it's white bread. I'm just giving examples.
mhm,
The thing that you know that you're going to be challenged with to give up, right? Start small, start somewhere. And the best diet, I tell everyone, is the one that works for you.
mm,
Say that again. The best diet is what works for you. So for me personally, it may be vegan. For you, it may be paleo, but it's one that you could sustain for a lifestyle modification, not for diets, because diets don't work. You're gonna die with the diet, okay?
yeah, yeah. It
And
literally has it in the word, right?
yes, right. So you have to be practical. You have to do an honest self evaluation where you are, and start small with something. Whether it's giving up soda, you start with that and get a substitute. Find something that you could substitute that you won't feel like you're being restricted. Because it's
Mhm.
all about your mindset, right? And thinking things like, I can't have soda versus I don't want to have soda,
There you go.
right? So there has to be also a mindset shift as well. Start speaking and reframing your words and your thoughts.
I love it. I love it. Because we're always in this position where we're telling ourselves no. And so it creates like this negative connotation. It's like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. No, I don't want to.
Yes.
That right there is a game changer. It is a total game changer. So tell us, because you seem like this is really something that you're very passionate about. What motivates you to stay committed to your lifestyle choices?
What motivates me is see the results, right? Whatever you work is going to work for you, right? If you're putting um real foods in your system, right, you're going to see the results. You're going to have energy, you're going to have clarity of thought, you're going to be healthy in
Mhm.
all aspects, right? Because your gut and your brain is connected, right? So if you're eating junk food, what's in your brain? Junk, right? And I'm
Mhm.
just speaking,
Yeah.
metaphorically, right? So what motivates me is actually seeing the results in my life,
Mm.
right? I used to be so tired. I used to be so lethargic. My knees used to hurt, but now I'm eating foods that are actually real foods. Like they're not processed. Like I do eat some mini processed foods, but in moderation, right? But just seeing the results of my everyday life and actually being in a place where my knees don't hurt, that was a really big thing for me because
Mhm.
that was a challenge I had that kept me in pain, right? But once I switched my dietary intake and I saw the results, I stuck to it. I actually continue, and consistency is the key too, right?
Yes.
You can't just change because you want to fit in a nice black dress for a
Yeah.
wedding, because your motive is not going to be for a lifestyle modification. It's just for temporary. So seeing the results of what I'm doing personally and seeing my clients, whether it's them getting off their metformin, whether it's their getting off their other pills and prescriptions, when you work, something is going to work for you.
Yes. So let's talk about it since you brought it up. You brought it up, so we're gonna go there because I'm like I said, I'm a nurse. So you said it, and my spidey senses started tingling. Let's talk about this here metformin. We're not gonna go too deep into it, right? So it's a classic diabetic medication, and it has become probably the number one prescribed. And again, I'm just speculating here. I don't have the stats to back it up, but if I look for it, I'm certain I can find it. But it has become one of the highest prescribed medications, especially in communities that look like us. The
Yes.
Black and brown communities, this medication has become like the go-to. Now, a lot of times when patients go to see their physician, they get on a medication and this is the lifetime. So this is, you start it, you're going to be on it for ever and ever. Amen. That's the end of it. So let's just talk a little bit about, is it possible to be alleviated or relieved from having to take medications such as metformin, from your opinion?
Yes, especially if it's the type 2, right? That can,
Mhm.
type 2 diabetes, just to be clear,
Yes.
that can be reversed with your dietary intake. And most
Say that
doctors will
one more time because I need the person who is watching, I need them to hear. Put the cake down. Put the carbs down and listen. Give it to us one more time.
type 2 diabetes can be reversed with your
Yes.
dietary intake.
Yes.
It
Yes.
can be reversed.
Yes.
And doctors won't tell you this because it's a cycle of supply and demand,
Mhm.
right? If you change your dietary intake, cut out the unhealthy carbs, cut
Mhm.
out the sugar, cut out the red meat, you will see a change. And I've witnessed this with my clients.
Yes.
And when they went back to the doctor for their checkup, they asked them, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And they said, "I changed my diet."
Mhm.
And they told him, the MD told my client, "Okay, keep up the good work." So
Yes.
why wasn't this told to them the first time?
Yes.
Right? Because you will never be deficiency have a deficiency in a pill or a drug. You will have a deficiency in either a multivitamin, a nutrient, or a mineral, right?
Mhm.
And what we put in our bodies is going to either make our bodies be susceptible to diseases, right? So once you begin to change your diet, your body's gonna respond. But they don't tell you this when you go to the doctor. They want you to just pop a bill. They
Yeah.
won't tell you to change your diet. They won't tell you. Well, some doctors will if they're good doctors. So I'm not gonna bash every doctor, right? Because I'm not gonna put everybody in the same category. But most doctors won't tell you to change your diet. They'll encourage you to pop a pill or take an
Mhm.
injection. And the source of the matter is your dietary intake. It's what
Yes.
you're fueling your body with. You're fueling your body with junk, with toxins, right? So my thing is that once you know better, you have to do better. And
Yeah.
sometimes people know things too, Dr. Shaniqua, but it's actually know where to start,
Yeah.
right? And getting a good support team as well.
Yeah.
So
You
it's a
you
matter of
told
perspectives too.
you targeted on something so important, and you shared about the mindset. The mindset is so crucial when it comes to making these sustainable changes. So, for those people who give up because they say, well, I've tried this and I tried that, have you tried changing your mindset? Right. And that's really what it is. And Faustina mentioned to us that it is about results. When you see the results, like, be results driven to say, wow, I love the way I felt the summer of, 2018 when I was healthy and I was eating all the right stuff. I love that newfound energy. But then the pandemic hit and I just let myself go. All right. So change your mind. Focus on the results, how you felt, how much energy you had, how much clearer your thought process was or is going to be. So it is about shifting from, oh, woe, it's me to I can do this. If I did it before, I can do it again. Listen to Cicely Sunday's podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and more. New episodes start in December.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I love that motivation, and it was factual. So she wasn't telling us anything that was, that she just kind of concocted in her head. It is literally facts. There are books, there are studies that back up this suggestion. It's just a matter of whether or not you're willing to change your mindset. And now you mentioned about seeing the changes in your clients. I have a testimony. My mother, now, what I've noticed also is that diabetes, especially type 2,
Mm-hmm.
has become prevalent in the senior population. So they lived majority of their lives. There was no diagnoses of diabetes. And now they get to these senior years, their golden years. Now they're getting these new diagnoses. So my mother had went to the doctor, and I hope she doesn't mind me telling her story, but I know she doesn't, because she became like the staple. She became the, I don't want to use the word guinea pig, but she became the example. So she went to her doctor, and the doctor, they did the hemoglobin A1C, and she was at a 7.
Oh.
So immediately he writes the script, right? He's not saying, well, what have you been doing? What are you eating? Are you like, what are you doing? What's going on in your life that your hemoglobin A1C is now at a 7? Nope. 7. Let me look at my chart. Now let me write the prescription. So he gives her a prescription for metformin, and my mother did what she always does. She comes to me. Oh my goodness. The doctor says I have diabetes. He gave me a script for, metformin. I don't want to take this stuff because they say once you start, you're going to be on it forever. I don't want this. I said, you sure you don't want it? I don't want to take another pill. I'm on enough medication. I don't want this. Okay. Here's what you do. My mother started to be mindful about what it was she was eating. She
Mm-hmm.
cut down on her carbs. She took out red meat. I just wanted to put that in there. She took out red meat. I'm not telling everybody to pull out red meat, but she took out red meat. And the next time when she went back to the doctor, because she had to go back either 3 months, 6 months later, and she
Mm-hmm.
did not take that metformin. We did
Come
not get
on.
that prescription filled. She focused on her diet. Now, again, let me interject here. I'm not telling people to rebel. I'm not telling you to throw away the prescriptions. I'm not telling you not to follow what your doctor, who knows you individually,
Right.
has prescribed. That's not what I'm saying.
All
But
right.
between me and my mother, the wealth of education that she invested for me to have in nursing school, she was like, oh no, we need to tap in. We need to cash in on this investment right here, right now. And then as I had been learning more in my career, I was training health coaches at the time. I was like, are you willing? And she was like, I am willing, because she was 100% certain that she did not want to take that metformin. By the time she went back to her doctor, her hemoglobin A1C had came significantly down. I believe she was probably like at a 5. And the doctor said the same thing. What have you been doing? She had lost weight. And she was like, yeah, doc, my daughter, got me on this strict, regimen. I'm not eating meat. I'm not. He was like, well, whatever you're doing, keep it up.
Yep.
So, are you sick and tired? Because you got to get to that point when you are fed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because otherwise, your mind is not going to allow you to see it through to the end because the changes may not be right away.
Right.
Right. So I love that. And it just sparks something in me. It is about being driven by the results.
Yeah.
Just like when we want to lose weight for an event. Why? Because we want people to be like, oh, look how nice you look after all of these years. So that is a result. But just think about how good you felt at that moment. Why not carry that throughout your days? Right?
Yeah.
Now listen, I got another question for you. Because people are listening and they're like, you know what? It sounds good. The two of you talking it out. Shaniqua getting all excited about it. It sounds real good. But it's just hard. It's hard. How do I get into it? How do I get started? How do I even begin? So what's your go-to resolution when you are seeing your clients, you're doing your health coaching? What's your go-to resolution that you usually start everybody off with?
When you said that question to me, what jumped out to me was the word hard. I
Mm,
think we have to first to reframe our thoughts and how we see things.
mhm,
If you see something as hard, you're going to be resistant to try to actually tackle it,
mhm.
right? But if you see something as a challenge, right, you have to be up for the challenge.
Yeah.
And your motivation is key. Your why is key. Why am I doing this? Your
Mhm.
why matters. Your why is going to drive you. So the first thing I do is have my clients do a SMART goal assessment, right?
Yes.
You can't just say I want to lose weight. What does that mean,
Yeah.
right? You have to be specific. You have to measure it. It has to be attainable. It has to be relevant and time sensitive, right? So you have to first do an honest assessment. What is your why, right? And that's going to be your focus. Whether it's not to have a, a diagnosis like
Mhm.
hypertension or diabetes because it runs in your family. That's what
Yes.
they say. But you can stop it, okay, by what you put in your mouth, okay?
Yes.
I want people to remember this. Whatever you put in your mouth is going to be a risk or a reward for you.
Yes.
Very important. So if your mindset is
Mm,
up for the challenge, you're going to be ready to fight,
yeah.
right? And do things that are going to help you to get your results. Whether it's, like I said, cutting out certain things like soda, like sugary juices, right? Cutting out refined sugar, which is the devil, okay?
Mhm.
Sugar is
Mhm.
an anti-nutrient.
Yes.
It breaks down your immune system. It causes things to happen in your, we could go on and on and on, but cutting
Jesus.
out something that's going to be detrimental to your health. Like
Mhm.
you said, go through your cabinets, read your labels. But the first thing is to do an honest assessment to see where you are and to get your motives right.
Yes.
Your why is going to be the key aspect to getting your results.
All right. Got another question because you mentioned motivation. Okay. Today I'm motivated. I'm feeling good. I'm motivated. I got it. Yeah. Got it. My kids are cheering me on. My spouse is like, go girl. And I'm, yeah, feeling good. Right. But then the next day comes and it's raining outside and the baby's sick and I was up all night and I gotta go to work. I got deadlines. I got stuff to do. I just don't have the time and I'm certainly not motivated. So I'm just gonna go by McDonald's because we just need to eat. The goal at this point, we just need to eat. So I'm just gonna go through the drive-through. I just don't have the motivation. Talk to us about what we should be doing on the days when we don't have the motivation, when the people stop cheering us on. What do we do on those days?
I will say go back to your why. And it sounds very simple, but to go back to your why,
Yeah.
right? I would always say the night before, I would say to set up your make it happen list,
Mm,
right? What do you want to make happen for you tomorrow,
I
right? So
love
that would
it.
be that's a practical tool you could do, right? So when you go to your make it happen list, right? Whether you're motivated or not, this is what you said you're gonna make it happen, right?
You talking some real good stuff right now. I want the people to turn the volume up a little bit because you talking real
Yeah.
good right now.
Yeah. So practically the night before, whether you're gonna do some journaling or whatever, have a make it happen list. So you go to that the next day, whether you're motivated or not. You have to remember. Listen, when there's a will, you will find a million ways to do it,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So whether it's raining, you can't go outside, you could go to YouTube and do a workout. You may have
mhm,
not go to the gym, but you could do some cardio in your living room, right? When there's a will, you will find a million ways to do it.
yeah,
So it always go back to your mindset, right? And just remembering why you're doing this, right? And we all have off days sometimes, but we don't stay there, right? If you mess up one day, guess what? There'll be tomorrow. You
yep,
make your make it happen list that night and you say, tomorrow I'm going to be more motivated. I'm going to remember my why. I'm going to have an affirmation, right? To say, what are we saying over our lives too in the mornings, right? We need to command our day as well. So it's so many things that we can do, but I will say practically the night before, have a make it happen list
mhm.
and put it on your fridge or put it on your phone, put it on your mirror so that it's visible so you could see it. Out of mind, out of sight.
It's true indeed, right? Because when we start getting busy, that's when we go for the quick fix, right? When we're pressed for time. But if you already have it on the list and you've already prepared for it, if you've already meal
Prepare
prepped,
for it.
if you've
Mm-hmm.
already put the healthy snacks in the quick little Ziploc bag, so they're quick for you to grab, just like a bag of chips would be quick for you to
Come
grab,
on, get
right?
them
So
carrots.
exactly, and you know what? Let me tell you something. When I'm in that mindset of I'm going to do this, carrots are delicious to me. They
Yes.
are delicious. Now let me tell you what I do to my carrots. I season them a little bit. Now these are raw carrots. Hit them with a little Parmesan cheese. Child, I was doing a webinar and it was like a long webinar and I munch because I'm trying to stay awake. That was one of my downfalls when I was working. Like I would munch, I would just pick anything because I'm trying to stay awake for this long day. And so I remember being on my journey and I'm like, nope, we are doing this. Girl, I've had a bag of carrots, raw carrots, seasoned up a little bit, hit them with a little Parmesan cheese, and I was going for the gold. They were
Come
so
on.
delicious. I was so happy. I was so satisfied. It was satisfying that salty, we go to that sweet, salty craving, and it was
Crunchy.
satisfying that
Mm-hmm.
crunchy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was really in my happy place. So like you said, there are certain things that you can find to substitute for what it is that you normally ingest. And any of my health coaches, the ones that I've trained, if they're watching this, they know why I smiled when you mentioned those SMART goals, because that is gold right there. It is gold, and people don't understand the value in writing stuff down, mapping stuff out.
Yes.
That is literally health and wellness gold right there. Now, Faustina, before I let you go, gotta ask you this. You seem like a well respected in your industry, like your clients are coming, they're following, what it is that you're saying, they're having great results. What about your family? Does your family take your health coaching advice?
Actually, my husband is on the journey with me also with
Nice.
plant-based. So he did come along. He's American, and I'm Jamaican by nationality. So we do cook differently,
Mhm.
right? So him coming along with me also has also sparked some type of interest also with my other family members as
Nice.
well. And like certain times we come together, whether it's Thanksgiving, I would bring the vegan dishes and they would try it and then, wow, this is
Yes.
really good. Like you can have vegan mac and cheese, right?
Yes. Yes.
You can have curry chickpeas with
Yes.
potatoes in it
Real
instead of the
good.
curry
Yes.
chicken, right? And you could have some brown rice and peas without the white rice, right?
Yes.
So there's I would say a lot of interest, but some people have not yet taken the actual commitment, but at least they're seeing that there is a better way. Now, my children, they are in the process of eating healthier.
Okay.
Now I have them actually read labels. Now instead of eating like Cheetos, they will not eat that. They go to Trader Joe's, they get different. My daughter, she's 18. Every
Okay.
week she comes home with a Trader Joe's bag. So
Okay.
I'm seeing the shift in her because first she would just go to the bodega across the
Yeah.
street from me, right?
Yeah.
Now she goes to Trader Joe's on her own.
Love it.
So I'm seeing the actual I would say gradual change, and sometimes change is not always instant, right? It's a process.
Yeah.
So I don't despise small beginnings in my children. They're seeing and they're actually doing something about their health as well. Now they will not get juice, they will get something that has 100% juice instead of drinking some like 25%,
Yeah.
juice, whatever. So
Yeah.
now they're reading labels even at an early age. One is 13, one is 18.
I love it. I love it because sometimes the family is the last. You're out
And
here
they could
doing
be
all of these great
resistance.
things, and
Yeah.
it's your family that straggles behind. So I'm glad to hear that your family is at the very least interested. Like they're making these small steps to get them, whether they're following exactly what you're doing, but they're doing something that's important for them because that's how they're going to sustain it, right? It has to have
Right.
some type of value and meaning, not just because mom is making us do it, but it has value and it has meaning. So they're learning these beautiful life lessons. And I kind of wish that we could turn back the hands of time and relearn that,
But
right?
you know what
As
though?
as
It's
children.
never too late to unlearn something.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People they think, oh, this is who I am. No, it's never too late to start. Whether you're young or old, it's never too late. So wherever you are, it's never too late to start.
I love it. Now, before we go, tell us about this book because this book sounds like something that we all need to get into our library. Tell us a little bit more about transition.
Yeah, so I wrote this book in 2021 because you know what happened with the I said pandemic, the pandemic.
I love it.
A lot of people were putting on extra weight.
Yeah.
So I wrote this book, and also people were challenged in their mind as well.
Hmm.
So this book is basically showing people how to transition in obtaining wellness in your mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
Because we're a three-part being, we have a body that hosts our mind and our spirit, and we have to be balanced in all three.
Hmm.
So if you're eating well, right, but you're thinking toxic thoughts, right, you're not healthy, right?
Hmm.
If you're thinking healthy, if you're thinking positive, but you're eating junk food, you're not healthy, right?
Yeah.
If you're not basically having I would say a relationship with God, right? But you're doing all these other two things, you're not holistically healthy. And sometimes transitions can be challenging, right? But once you actually know where you're going to go, you have a blueprint, right? So
Uh,
like I don't tell people just to cut out red meat, right? Cut out eating it from, if you eat it 5 times a week, cut it out to 3, right? If you want to eat red meat, get at least grass-fed beef, right? Start somewhere. If you want to eat fish, get wild caught, right? So it's a transition, right? And when you begin to transition, you begin to lose, I would say, the appetite for things, right? So it's a gradual process. And this book talks about the 3 aspects, whether it's your body, whether it's your mind, whether it's getting rid of stinking thinking,
mm-hmm.
whether it's developing a relationship with God for yourself, not
Yes.
religion, right? So it's a holistic book, and I believe it has lots of nuggets. And there's also like a reflection part of each chapter for you to actually do a self assessment to see where you are and where you want to go.
I love it. I love it. Now, I knew from the start that I was definitely going to connect with you. Like we were going to vibe. This conversation is was just really, really good. It was so up my alley. And you know, I'm inviting you back. You already know that I have to have you come back because
I'm
I
honored.
know there is so much more teaching that could be done. And I know that my audiences would benefit from it. Right. So we have to get started somewhere. So I'm going to have the link for the book Transitions. I'm going to put it in the description box. I want to make certain that everybody
It's a
goes to
green
the
book
description box. There it is. So you see it. You will, when you see it on Amazon, you're like, yep, that's it. It's the
the green
green
book
book.
for
Um,
life.
and I want you to make certain that you get it and you start reading and deep diving into it because we have to transform our mind, right? We have
Yes.
to transform our mind and reposition where we're thinking so that we can go in a different direction than that we've always have. So you're going to have the link in the bio. We've got her social media handles going up. She's on her website. She's on Instagram. She's over there ticking and talking, you guys. As I
I'm
love to say,
trying.
is over there just tick. I don't listen. I be over there trying on TikTok. I said, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I try. So she's on TikTok. You also have a YouTube channel. So while you guys are here, make certain that you stop on over to Fostena's YouTube channel, subscribe, watch them videos, comment, like, do all of that stuff, share it out with your people, because this is how we keep that encouragement going. So I want to make certain that everybody has all of her information. Is going to be in the description box. For those of you who are on my mailing list, it's in your inbox. I've already emailed it to you. So you got the front row seat, the access granted pass. So you have no other choice to connect. And you can't, and because this is what people always say. Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know I can do that. Nobody ever told me. Now we're being told. She
Yes.
just told us. Right? So I thank you so very much for your yes, for being a part of the Black Girl Encourage Her. Do you have any lasting words, any parting words that you want to make certain you push into the spirit of those who are viewing?
I want to encourage everyone that's watching to know that your life is worth living.
Yeah,
Your life is worth living. You don't have to live a life that's defeated, a life that's diseased. You
yeah,
can make a difference, right? And it all starts with your mind, as Dr. Shaniqua has said, right? When you renew your mind, you're gonna do things differently, right? So don't beat yourself up if you feel like, whoa, I can't do this. Oh no, I want you to shift that perspective and think, see yourself healthy in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, and start small. Don't despise small beginnings. For instance, if it's just 1 pound a week you're losing, that's progress, right? Know that whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. See yourself healthy, see yourself whole, and see yourself well.
I love it. Thank you so much. Hang out for just a second, and we are going to get the people their marching orders. Wasn't that good? Oh, my goodness. Listen, I want to make certain that everyone, if you didn't get a chance to take notes, you didn't know it was going to be that good, don't worry. The replay is going to be available. You get to go back in and rewatch it and write down all of that good stuff because it's actual information that you can use to start to transition your own life. So until next week, you all have a blessed, blessed, blessed evening. And we'll see you again on the next segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. God bless.